Hey, it's Paul. Hopefully everybody's getting ready for the long holiday weekend. It's going to be hot out there. Hey, look at these rates today. We're looking at 30-year fixed rates below that 5% mark. Haven't seen that for seems like months. And it's kind of like gas, right? So, driving out there, seeing gas in the 470 mark, when we're used to paying 501 looks like a steal. Now, look, these rates historically are really good anyway. We're still seeing, shortages of inventory, although there's a little bit less competition to buy a house. So if you kind of were waiting on the sidelines, it may make sense now to go in there, as you'll still have competition for buying that house, but not as much. And in some cases, we're seeing folks being the only offer out there. Homes are continuing to appreciate. We've got a big supply issue, so it'll be several years before we see anything there. And while rates are a little bit lower, yes, it looks like we are probably headed into or in a recession. This week we got revisions to the first quarter GDP, and it was more negative. And then when the PCE index came out, and that's the Fed's favorite measure of inflation, the consumer spending component was down more than anticipated. So this made the Atlanta Federal Reserve lower their expectations from being flat for GDP growth in the second quarter of 2022 to being negative. Now, by the old-fashioned definition of a recession, 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP would define a recession. Although the conference board that determines whether the recession there is a little more complex than that. So it looks like we will at some point see rates go even lower. However, I don't think that inflation, and most experts don't think inflation will peak until the end of this year, before we start to see that coming into check. So it may be a good time to go ahead and refinance, consolidate some of that debt using equity in your house, as we're going to see short-term rates most likely continue to rise for a little bit. And there's tons of equity out there. It's a great time to be buying a house. Obviously, a year ago would have been better, but we're around this weekend if you need pre-approvals. Take care. Bye-bye.